Hello everybody, my name is Josh and welcome to my individual videos, aka also my first individual video on Variety 3. So I'm going to be doing a little bit of a Minecraft series, but not your typical how to build or survival series, but more or less a in-depth look at some of the features of the game. Because everybody knows how to start out. You hit some wood with your fist, make tools, go get stone and coal, and you start mining and build your house and all this stuff. And oftentimes something that's overlooked is stuff like farming. Yes, I know everybody knows how to do it, but there's a few more efficient ways than you probably think. So I'm going to show you some of those ways. I'm going to grab some tools here, and you are going to recognize all of these with a diamond hoe, because everybody loves their diamond hoes. And we'll get some seeds, which should be here. We're going to grab some seeds, and I don't know where it is, so we're going to get a bucket of water. We're going to get some pretty surprising things here. We're going to get a beehive, like this, or you could use a beehive like this. I'm going to grab some blocks to build with, though. We'll grab some oak logs. And we will get some bees. So you may be wondering, well, what in the world, why are you getting bees along with everything? Well, obviously, we have the problem of, we have the sand here. So you're going to want to clear out that sand. And I am going to show you something that I've always done in my worlds that you don't necessarily need to do, but I just like doing it. It makes it look a little nicer and a little more unnatural, I guess. And I know a lot of people want that natural look, but it just makes navigating a little bit easier, at least your farm. So, you're gonna have a little section like this, and you can kind of flatten out the terrain if you want, make it look a little bit nicer, whatever the case may be. You know, delete that block, and then that block. Make it a little bit of a rounded edge there. And of course everybody thinks, oh, you just start tilling the land and everything will be good. Well, I always did this. I always did one row, and then depending on the size, two. And here is where we're going to start. So of course it's classic, just farm the land here. Plant your seeds. Now eventually the soil will become rich and will be easier for your seeds to grow, such as this. This takes a little bit of time, not too long, just a few seconds typically, until your soil is all dark brown and perfect for growing. So we're going to get this line going and put down the rest of these seeds. And many people may think, oh, well, that's it, right? You're done. Yes and no. For the most basic one, yes, this is pretty much it, and you grow it out, get little bigger spot, little bigger. Wow, okay. You get bigger spots for your farm, which means you need more water going through it. That's just basic stuff. However, you want your farm to be a little more successful, a little faster growing, put a bee nest, or a beehive in this case, for some pretty unexpected things. One thing I forgot to grab is you do need flowers of some sort. I'm going to grab some blue orchids. What you're going to do is you're going to kind of place them all around the edge of your farm, preferably the backside. Now, I'll explain why here in a second. Basically, there's going to be bees in these hives, and they're going to pop out, and the first thing they're going to sense is those flowers, which means they're going to go over your farm, get all the pollen, and go back from your farm to the hive. What does this do? Well, fun fact, in the game, the pollen, besides just kind of looking neat, will help your farm grow faster. It's kind of a neat trick, and it is really just quite interesting. So I'm going to spawn these here, and I've never actually built one of these in creative, so I don't know if they're going to go immediately back to their hive. But as you see, all but this guy have stopped at these flowers, and after a few seconds, And this guy just kind of hanging out. You can go, little buddy. No, you really don't want to? You just want to... Oh, there you go. There. They're going to go into the hives, and they're going to go over your farm. So, with a corner farm like this, I might set up another one here and set some more bees. Now, capturing bees and animals and everything will be another episode. Here, we'll just start placing them. But the basics for your hives and everything is this. Faster growing farms require water, and a good chunk of it to grow fast. Beehives, flowers, and bees. And of course, you can grow whatever you want here. That's up to you. And of course, having bone meal is an incredible thing. And as you see, the more these guys fly over our crops, the more the fields are starting to grow a little nicer. Grow a lot quicker. And I'm also going to add another row of flowers here to get their attention a little bit more. And I'm going to do a hypothetical thing in which you just basically surround your farm with hives. So we got 2 hives there. And of course, again, another thing is to have all of them in at a point. Actually, I guess that shouldn't be there. At a point in your farm where they have to go over it. So the reason I'm not putting it back over here is for the fact of they would just go to these farms, stop here, and then turn back. They would never go over the field. That's the whole point. So of course, another and probably the biggest tip, I jokingly use it, but never spend diamonds on a hoe unless you've got diamonds galore and you just do not care. Oh yeah, and stepping on your flowers or on your soil like that, jumping more likely, will kind of knock your seeds out, and you need to replant them. That's jumping. Walking you can do perfectly fine. There's no problem with that. That is fine. But don't jump in your crops, basically. And again, another thing would typically to be putting a fence. I closed that. Putting a fence along your farm to keep all the bad guys out. It's a relatively good idea. And another thing is about farms, fences, and all that jazz is just make sure they're well secured. There's no point in putting a fence around if something can jump over it. So if you got something like this, delete that. If you got something like this, delete that, because guess what? They may jump, or they may just drop, but some animals, some mobs, I've seen it do this, will actually kind of do a little jump over. Bam, they're in here, they trample your crops, or attack you while you're waiting for them to grow, whatever it may be. So always make sure to either double your fences up, or delete any land where they could possibly jump over the fences. I'm going to just put up the fences a little bit back here on this wall, and call it good. That's pretty much it, and some decent lighting is always nice, so we'll grab some lanterns, put a lantern there, maybe one up here, one back on top of here, one there, and one here. Some decent lighting, and of course, if you want to do some torches, and hell, we'll do some sea pickles. So we'll put some torches up if you want, and if you really wanted to, you can light up the sea or whatever it may be that your place is connected to. And this little walkway, a little tip, not everybody needs to do this, but if you want to, it's fine. Take a lily pad, put down some sea pickles for lighting, and take some lily pads. Oh well, never mind. I guess it's my fault. Apparently you cannot put lily pads over sea lanterns. I also just deleted that. But that is fine. You can still put them normally wherever you didn't put them originally. So we re-put this down. Of course, it's nighttime, so we can see mobs, even though they're not attracting me right now. Probably cannot get over this. I say probably because it's Minecraft. Really anything could happen. So this is farming basics. And of course you have all sorts of crops you can grow, and there's auto farmers that I'll get into when I start talking about auto machinery with villagers and etc. But if you were just going to start a farm on your own, this is what I recommend doing. Close to water, water access, lots of flowers, lots of beehives. It'll help it grow faster. And of course, it's nighttime, so the bees aren't really going to come out too much, if at all. And another benefit is honey. Now, you can get honey from here pretty simply. And if you ever create a kind of system that all these are covered in glass, but these are poking through, feel free to take the honey out without the bees getting mad at you. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. If anybody has some recommendations down below for the next episode, I'm so far planning it on animals and doing animal farms, such as cows, sheep, chickens, everything basically. A lot of the farmable animals that have stuff that you might want, I will teach you how to do basic stuff. Alright everybody, this has been a great episode. Thank you all. I love you all, and have a good night.